Huduma Namba issuance has been stopped. The High Court instead ordered the government to conduct a data protection impact assessment before going on with the program. Justice Jairus Ngaah faulted the government for what he termed as failing to appreciate the constitutional and legal provisions that require due diligence on the side of the government to secure personal data from abuse and misuse. Sam Gituku narrates the more than 2-year-long tumultuous journey of the Huduma Namba, whose future now is uncertain.
At the 2020 Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kisii County, President Uhuru Kenyatta unveiled the new Huduma card that was to be issued to the more than 37 million registered Kenyans starting December 2020. Nearly 1 year later, only 6.5 million Kenyans have collected their cards out of 11.2 million cards printed. Justice Jairus Ngaah of the High Court now stalling the rollout of the cards until the government conducts a crucial risk assessment. Justice Ngaah saying that the Cabinet Secretaries Joe Mucheru of ICT and Dr. Fred Matiang'i of Interior and the Attorney General Paul Kariuki failed to, quote, appreciate the import and extent of the application of the Data Protection Act with respect to collection and processing of data collected under the National Integrated Identity Management System. Justice Ngaah saying that if they did, they would have given effect to Section 31 of the Act and conducted data impact assessment before processing Kenyans' personal data. According to Section 31, subsection 2 of the Act, the data protection impact assessment that the government now must conduct entails description of data processing operations, the purposes of it, and necessity of doing so. It must also assess the risks to the rights and freedoms of Kenyans and find the risk mitigation measures to protect personal data. Justice Ngaah acknowledged that the rollout has already begun, but ordered the government to take the crucial steps before further implementation.
The exercise.
The Huduma Namba program is as old as President Kenyatta's second term. It has been challenged in court since 2019, when on the 1st of April that year, the High Court cleared the start of registration of Kenyans. But there were conditions that the enrollment must not be mandatory, as the government had required. There was to be no deadline for the exercise, and Huduma Namba was not to be mandatory for a Kenyan to access government services. Third parties were to be barred from accessing data collected through the program. And on the 2nd of April 2019, countrywide registration exercise began, ending on the 25th of May. In November 2019, the Data Protection Act passed by Parliament became law. The Nubian community had challenged the implementation of the program on fears of exclusion. The High Court on 30th of January 2020 cleared implementation of the program, but with conditions that a regulatory framework must be in place to ensure no exclusion. GPS and DNA details were also to be left out of data capture and processing, as doing so would abuse privacy rights. The Huduma Namba program is intended at streamlining government services delivery.
Na sisi kama serikali tuko tayari kuanza sasa kupatia Wakenya kadi zao za huduma, na ndio waweze kupata hizo huduma zao aidha online kwa njia rahisi, na ile laini kubwa tulikuwa tunapanga kila wakati katika maofisi ya serikali iishe.
The touted single source of truth is now in doubt as the ball is thrown back to the government's court. President Kenyatta's second-term dream running out of time as he approaches the end of his tenure that remains with just over 9 months. Sam Gituku, Citizen TV, Nairobi.